welcome to the 2023 Franklin County Combined Charitable Campaign. Thank you so much for coming to the kickoff. I really appreciate it. I'm Brian Shelton. I'm the Director of Public Sector Campaigns for the Campaign Coordinating Organization for this campaign. The Combined Charitable Campaign is a team effort of management, labor, steering committee members, coordinators, and of course, all county employees. The theme for the campaign this year is Franklin County Employees Making a Community Impact. And that is exactly what you have done for more than 25 years, raising well over $6 million. This year, with your help, I know we can have another successful campaign to make a community impact in Franklin County. I would now like to introduce the 2023 Franklin County Combined Charitable Campaign Chair, the Franklin County Engineer, Cornell Robertson.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome, Franklin County. Welcome to the 2023 Combined Charitable Campaign. Again, my name is Cornell Robertson, honored to serve as this year's chair. Also honored to serve as your Franklin County Engineer. And I would like to begin my remarks by wishing everyone a happy Infrastructure Day. Because at the Franklin County Engineer's Office, every day is Infrastructure Day. The mission of the Franklin County Engineer's Office is to provide for safe and efficient movement of people and goods from place to place by designing, building, and maintaining Franklin County's roads, bridges, and infrastructure for multiple modes of transportation. We are an agency of action, innovation, and collaboration. That two-sentence mission statement is certainly applicable to the team at the Franklin County Engineer's Office. But that second sentence, being an agency of action, innovation, and collaboration, makes me think of the entire Franklin County government team. We all are used to serving every resident every day, the Franklin County way. I see our Franklin County team as a team of people of action, very charitable, doers of deeds, servant leaders, people in the arena, so to speak. And that reminds me of a speech by a former president about 113 years ago. President Teddy Roosevelt delivered a speech that's one of my favorite. Back then it was known as the Citizenship in a Republic. Today it's more commonly known as the Man in the Arena. It is very short, and it goes a little something like this. It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out where the strong man stumbled, or where a doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, and who comes up short again and again, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause. The man who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails while daring greatly, so that his place will never be with those cold, timid souls who never knew victory or defeat. With that being said, I want to say thank you to you all for your excellent service to our constituents, for your generosity, for your past participation in our combined charitable campaign, and I ask that you consider continuing those contributions, and I ask that you inspire your coworkers and other teammates to participate. I'll turn the podium over, but I do want to mention that our labor co-chair, Mark Fluharty, Executive Director of AFL-CIO, He had an unfortunate situation arise that needed his attention today, but he wanted me to be sure and pass along his appreciation for your all's work and for your all's generosity. At this time, I have the privilege of introducing our honorary co-chair, Mr. Roy Hall Jr. Roy Hall Jr. is a friend of mine. Let me just say that. A friend of mine, a great guy. He has played football for OSU, has played football in the NFL. I'm not a huge sports fan, but I'm still attracted. I still gravitate to Roy Hall Jr. I've heard him speak many times. I am inspired by him. He's the founder and CEO of Driven Foundation. And at this time, Roy Hall Jr., I turn the podium over to you. And thank you for participating in our campaign.
All right, we're going to have to fix something. The Ohio State University. OH! OH! One more time. OH! All right. Man, it's one voice that's standing out right now. Super excited. Do you have tickets to this weekend's game? You don't? Do you have somebody to go with? If I gave you 2 tickets to the Ohio State football game this weekend, would you really go? Saturday, yeah. No, yes, it's on Saturday for sure. I hope so. Oh, I'm about to say, because they're going to have to wait. All right, I think it's, listen, before I leave, give me your name and email address. And because your voice stood out, because you know how to spell Ohio, I'm going to make sure you have 2 tickets. They are row 3 in section AA, whatever. So it's like 3 rows from the field. And you will enjoy a great time. And it's like 7 people that want to go with you, so be careful who you choose. All right? Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing, though. You have to go. Like, don't send me an email like, hey, Roy, I'm sorry, we couldn't make it, and I passed the tickets off to, like, my cousin. We're not doing that. You have to go. All right. You'll take pictures? And tag me in them. Are you on social media? I am. Is that what's questionable? Are you sure? Well, you just don't use it often? I just don't know. You don't know if you're on? I am on. Okay. You don't use it often. Okay, you have to find me and make sure. I need proof. All right. You'll help her? Are you going? No, but we work together. Okay, all right. So that, wait a minute. So you're trying to finagle your way into going is what you're doing. Okay, all right. Okay, that'll be good. Well, wait a minute. She just skipped him and said, no, not him. All right. Oh, okay. We went before to an Army game. Okay, all right, fantastic. All right, well, clap. What's your name? Marianne. Marianne, clap it up for Marianne. This is awesome. Now you're like, man, I should have just yelled out 2 letters, and you didn't. You didn't have an opportunity to do that. Thank you for this opportunity. I won't be too long with you today, and so. It was mentioned that, you know, I played for the Ohio State University and also was blessed and fortunate enough to be able to play and accomplish and realize my dreams in real time and in the reality of it. You know, people have dreams, but actually being able to play in the NFL was so impactful for me because of how hard it was to get there. I would imagine that some of you all in different parts of your life, and maybe even right now, how challenging it's been to just get to the position that you're in right now. Like different hurdles and things that have come up in your family, come up in your personal life, and even come up in your professional life where you're like, man, I don't know how I got through it, but I'm just so thankful that I kept going, right? You guys have some amazing coworkers, as you can see, people that you love and care about, and friendships that'll last forever, but it came because you decided not to give up at that moment where you could have, all right? And I'm so thankful that you all kept going. My journey is no different, where NFL Ohio State is not so much about trying to get to become a professional ball player for what it brings. It wasn't about so much the fame and the fortune or the money or popularity as much as it was me positioning myself to change the actual dynamics of my family. I wanted to re-engineer what it meant to be a Hall. So my dad had some challenges when we were growing up, and right now I kind of go by, Roy Hall Jr. and a lot of NFL players and guys throw that junior in the back of their names now, or senior or whatever it may be. But I go off of that as a reminder of where I come from. Because the person coming behind you should always go further than you do, right? No matter who it is, professionally and personally. If you have children, they should go further than you. If you have someone on your team and you're in a management role or position where people are influenced by the words that you say and the actions that you take and your daily behaviors and how you make decisions, like those people underneath you, you should be training them to go further than you. So many people are in fear that someone's out to get them or to take their job. But in reality, as a leader, the greatest leaders don't worry about people taking their job because it's not theirs to begin with. Right. It's a role of responsibility. And so when you're in a leadership role and there's someone reporting to you, your job is to see that they go further than you do. That's what makes you valuable as a leader. And you get 4 people that are reporting to you that go further than you, then the people above them will say, hey, I want you to come to this next level and take them to a whole nother level. Or guess what? Maybe they'll bring you on 20 years from now when you're like looking for a part-time gig and they say, I remember when you promoted me and helped me and we want to bring you on. Or maybe it's one of your grandkids, or maybe it's one of your children that they hire because of how you led them. Life is not ever going to be about you. It's just not. It's always going to be about the people that you're able to impact with your time here on this earth. Now, the last few years, I've lost a lot of friends that either I played with or that played before me that I had personal relationships with. Guys that are multi-millionaires. It's okay at my house, and they would just leave. It's different. So calling 911 and the police officers coming to my house, so it was pretty normal for me growing up. And I knew at 8 when I couldn't combat him. My goodness, he stood the same exact height and weight, up 6'3", 240 pounds, beard, bald head. The only difference between my father and I is he has green eyes. You might be thinking, hey, he's probably a handsome guy with green eyes, all right? Nah, those green eyes reminded me of hell. Looking into eyes that didn't look like mine, that's the difference. The inside of him was different than what was on the inside of me. And it wasn't necessarily his fault, just a poor decision at a young age. But because of those decisions, it put our family in jeopardy of being dissolved forever. Well, my mom contemplated, I don't know if I can take care of you and your sister. She contemplated maybe giving us off to a relative. She contemplated leaving and moving to another city. She contemplated leaving her kids behind because she didn't have the finances and the resources to be able to take care of 2 on her own. She was sick and tired of not having transportation. She was sick and tired of walking to work. She was sick and tired of having the same pair of shoes for 4 or 5 years straight and having holes in them and trying to hide them from her co-workers when she would go downtown Cleveland to go to her job. She was sick and tired of it, but she kept fighting through because she had 2 people that were dependent on her. Now, not one time did my mom say, you should go to the NFL. Not one time did she say, I need you to become rich and famous so you can take care of me. Not one time did she say, I need you to just be an athlete and go be great. But what she did say is make sure all the decisions that you make are always about people other than yourself. That's the ticket. That's how you live life. And so when my mom got out of that situation, my mom and dad split. We moved to a better neighborhood, so to speak. And she found her new boyfriend. He's about 5'10". Y'all laugh. I don't know why y'all laugh. If you 5'10" in here, you feeling real uncomfortable right now. You're like, man, what's wrong with 5'10"? About 2 more inches. If you get to 6 foot. Anyway, he was about 5'10". And I say that because when I was 12, I was taller than him. And I was pushing 6'1" when I was 12. It's been a minute. Like I stopped. I thought I was, how these doctors doctors back in the day were terrible. Like, man, oh, he's going to be 6'8". You lying. I'm 6'2". Like, every time the doctor tells you how tall your kids are going to be, they never end up that tall. Like, don't even tell me how tall my son's going to be. All right, because it's not going to happen. Anyway, so I'm upstairs, 12 years old, pushing 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, whatever it was, size 14 shoe. Like, I'm just growing at a rapid pace. Athletic as all get out. You know, it was 5th, 6th grade, but I had all A's. Like, I just wanted everything to be excellent. And all in all, I always was thinking, I want to position myself to take care of Mom long term. Now, I didn't share that with her. I mean, it's hard to communicate, like, Mom, I'm going to take care of you when I get older. Unless you just say it, it's kind of weird because older is so much far away from when you're 12 years old. But you know, I want to look out for my mom because she done went through hell, and that's not right. Someone that beautiful, that kind, that caring shouldn't have to endure what she went through. So I'm at my version of Lifetime Fitness, which was upstairs in my bedroom at the time. We got a little $99 bench from like MC Sports or something, and my mom got it for me for my birthday. And I'm up there trying to get swole. I'm trying to get some muscles. Now, to be honest, it wasn't so much about the muscles as much as it was about me, like, putting on an armor, building up an armor to be able to take care of my mom if anybody stepped to her the way that my dad did. Like, I was preparing. My mind was different. And I don't know if it was just seeing that trauma that hijacked the childhood of just, oh, I just want to lift weights. Like, no, I really was preparing to be able to cover her and take care of her because I couldn't when I was 8. And that particular day, I'm lifting. It was a chest day, I remember. And I don't know if anybody in the room ever been lifting weights and the weights get stuck on you and you're by yourself and you kind of got to like roll it off of you. I had one of those moments. And so I threw the weights down, but I had some little music up. And because my music was on and I was lifting weights and causing commotion, I didn't hear what was going on downstairs between my mom and her boyfriend. And I turned the music down. I hear the shouting, which was common 3 or 4 years earlier. I hear her yelling. I hear him yelling. My mom from inner city Cleveland, she's not going to back down from anybody, and she done been through some things, so she can fire off the insults with the best of them. And she going back and forth, and she not backing down. But now it feels similar to how when I was 8. But now remember, I'm 6 foot tall. I'm 165. I'm taller than this brother, and I'm lifting weights. So I'm like, it's my time to shine. We're not doing this again. So I go to the top of the steps. It's about 10 steps going down. The house was about 1,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, small crib, but we were making it work. And I was at the top of the stairs, and I'm waiting. And I'm waiting for the call. Just a little Roy, come here for a second. Just give me something. So remember, back then, young people were taught to stay in their place. So even though I knew something was going on, I wasn't just going to go down and interject, because if it wasn't what I thought it was, then I would have been in trouble. So I'll just wait. I'm away from my car. I'm away for the back seat. No, I'm away for that chance. And I promise you, I wish I had just defied her in that moment, because I heard a crash and then I heard a scream like I've never heard in my life before. And my mom did call out my name, but it was in horror, it was in fear, it was in trauma, and it was in pain. That sound is forever embedded in me. I'm 39 years old, but I will never forget that sound. And I also know how it shaped my life. I jumped down those stairs so fast, come around the corner, sprained my ankle, came around the corner. I see my mom laying down on the ground in the fetal position, covering her face up. It's blood everywhere. This man hit my mom so hard, it broke her nose and her jaw simultaneously. And now I'm in shock. Now I'm trying to help her. Now I'm holding her. Mom, is everything? She call it. I don't know what to do. You can't pick up a cell phone. You got to go to a phone, pull it off the thing, that long old cord, dial 911, wait and listen, all that. But then I see this gentleman coming out the kitchen. He's walking towards me, and he got that same, his eyes were brown, but he had that same look in his face that my dad had. But it's different now, because I'm eye to eye now. I'm not looking up to you. I'm actually looking down at you. And I got a different confidence and a different spirit on the inside of me that at this point, I am willing to do whatever I have to do to make sure you don't get to this one. So as he walked, I'm noticing in his right hand he has a screwdriver. So he's walking towards me, and I walk towards him. At this point, you know, if you're an adult, you're like, man, I wasn't concerned with that. My concern was making sure he didn't come back to my mom. I don't know what happened next. Sort of like a blackout moment. I don't know if I tried to swing on him or I lunged at him. I just know I missed, and he kind of like pushed me, and I hit my head on the wall or something, and I fell. But when I fell, my face was looking at her face. So now I'm down and she's down, and the only thing that I could do was figure, like, mosey over to try and cover her up. While all this is happening, she's like yelling, trying to yell, and whatever it may be. By the grace of God, this dude just walked by, kicked the door open, punched a hole in all of her car tires so that she couldn't drive herself to the hospital. Because where I grew up, the ambulance was going to take at least a good 15 minutes to get there anyway. So she couldn't drive herself. The hospital was like 5 minutes away, driving time. Hopped in his car and left. So me and my mom, literally by the time the ambulance came, we sitting on the front porch. I'm holding her, she's holding me. And they come and they get her in the back of the van, whatever, and we're rolling. And when we pull up, I'll never forget, she said something along the lines of, I've been hit harder than that. I need you to understand that no matter how hard you get hit, you got to get back up. Oh, you got to get back up. And that experience of watching how she navigated that, then she thanked me for doing everything I could to help her. Now, there's a couple things going on, because that happened, and everything after that was predicated on me being able to take care of her no matter what. If I could stand up to that as a child, I could stand up to anything as an adult. Now it's full throttle. Now I'm going to tackle and go after everything with everything that I have. 4.0 student in high school, not because I was smart, because I knew if I got my grades right, it better positions me to take care of mom long term. Got a full ride athletically to The Ohio State University, had some ups and some downs. But whether I was up or I was down from an athletic standpoint or performance standpoint, I knew I had a vision and a goal to be able to take care of one person. Because there were nights when we didn't eat. There were nights where I couldn't go and do the things that I wanted to. There were days where I got picked on as a kid because I was growing so fast and my mom couldn't take care of me. Couldn't buy the new clothes, couldn't buy the latest trends. There were days where she didn't eat. There were moments where she convinced me as a kid that it was okay to skip dinner. It was almost like fasting. But we played with the word differently, not because we were trying to get closer to God, but because we didn't have any money to get food closer to our bellies. So I knew that every decision that I made was predicated around taking care of her. Remember, my last name is Hall. My daddy was a senior, and he tore it down. My responsibility was to engineer and build it back up. Ohio State University, I get drafted, go to the NFL, and everything with that had everything to do with me taking care of mom. Forget the fame, forget the popularity. The money is not for me, it's for her. I bought her a house. I didn't buy me one. I bought her a car. I didn't buy me one. I filled up her refrigerator. I didn't fill up mine. Mostly because we got free food for the Indianapolis Colts. Mostly. But the whole deal was, I've worked this hard to get to a certain level. This cannot be about me. I promise you, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life, when you receive it, when you get it, when you accomplish it, it's not going to feel like the way you thought it was going to feel. You're going to be like, man, I worked this hard to get all the way here, and I promise you, you'll feel good for about 24 hours. Because with that new position comes new responsibilities. They say different levels, new levels, higher levels, new devils, and you weren't prepared for those. So now you're like, why did I work this hard to get to this level? But if you remember, you're working for a person. You're working for a community. That life is not about you, and the reason why you have your position and your platform, no matter how much money you make, is not to fulfill just your needs. is for us to take care of the people in this great city. That's why we do what we do. That's why you're still here. Don't get it twisted. It's not for you to get your PhD. It's not for you to finish your master's. It's not for you to get a new title. It's to get elevated so that you can get a better view of the people trying to get to your level. Hear when I say this, getting to the top of the mountain, people always say it's lonely at the top. It's only lonely at the top because you ain't take nobody with you. Being at the top just gives you a better perspective. Being at the top of the mountain gives you a better perspective of all the people at the bottom. When you're high up, you can see all the various people that need help getting to where you are. So getting at the top, your responsibility now is to go back down to the bottom and give people the blueprint and help them get back up to the top. It's not to stay at the top and to build a bigger house, no, you already made it. Now you got to go back. Part of going back is giving. That's why they call it giving back. I don't give forward. People say pay it forward. No, we give back. We give back. Like, why work to get here if you're not going to give back? Why put in all this work if you're not going to give back? And I don't mean giving out of obligation. I'm talking about understanding the opportunity to make a difference. Giving is the opportunity that you've been looking for. Giving provides the purpose that you've been praying for. Giving gives you reason. It gives you motivation. It gives you inspiration. It pulls you to help somebody that may not even look like you. Because you understand what it's like to go through hell, and you want to make sure that if it's at all possible for anybody to ever believe in heaven, it's going to be because you gave and made a difference. That's why we're here. That's why I wanted to make it to the NFL. Just to be able to take care of my family. Because if Google was available in 1990 and you Googled Roy Hall, oh my goodness, a mugshot would have came up with my daddy. The jail reports would have came up with my daddy. But now if you Google me, if you Google Roy Hall, now it's different. And most of it is not about the NFL anymore. It's about the Driven Foundation. It's about the 1.5 million pounds of free food we distributed over the last 10 years to 10,000 families. It's about the 30 different mentorship and leadership programs we have for young people. It's about Antonio Smith and the clean organization that we have working with men and women as they get transitioned out of incarceration to reduce recidivism, because most of the kids that we were working with, their parents were incarcerated. So now we're trying to tie it all together. It's about giving kids coats who need them. It's about delivering school supplies to people's homes and houses and making sure they don't come to us anymore. We go to them now. Why? Because I'm in a position to give. You're not really living if you're not giving. And I don't mean that little, hey man, I can afford $2 a month. You lying. Starbucks took $5 from you this morning. And that 337 calories or 547 calories if you got the grande, or the 836 calories if you got the real big boy, you weren't supposed to put in your body anyway, because you've been wanting to lose weight for the last 10 years. Just being honest. So let's figure out a way to do more. Let's figure out a way to give more. Let's figure out a way to have uncomfortable give. If you're giving $5, now make it 10. If you're giving 10, make it 20. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to connect you to purpose. It should make you uncomfortable when you see that money coming out your check. God dog it. I signed up for $150 a month. Whew. But that $150, I promise you, can fill up a whole refrigerator for a family if you happen to connect with the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. Wow, $150 could fill up a refrigerator for like 2 weeks. And I know you may never see that person, but sometimes you just got to use your imagination and just believe and trust and have faith that your money actually just went to a place that's going to make a difference. Because I promise you, when we were going through hell in my family, it was so many great organizations in that city that I hadn't ever even heard of, that people were giving from around the city, and they were able to put food in our refrigerator. I'm just here to remind you guys of where you come from. That's what giving does. It reminds you of where you come from. It reminds you of what you've been through. It reminds you of, it gives you empathy for I don't want you to keep going through this. Even if I never see your face, I don't want you to go through what I went through. I don't want you to go through hell. I don't want you to deal with adversity. I want to just help give you the advantage. It's our community, so it's our responsibility. You guys got to embrace that. My community, my responsibility. If you live there, every problem in that territory is your problem. There's nobody else that can solve it. That's why God put you there. That's why he put you here. So that you can understand that you can walk in purpose. You don't have to be an NFL player. You don't have to be an NBA player. You don't have to have 100,000 followers on social media or likes or 1 million views. Your videos don't have to go viral. Giving should be viral. When the opportunity arises, get after it. Your community, your responsibility. Your community, your responsibility. You guys have been absolutely awesome. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to hang out with you all today. This is a fantastic, obviously, cause, making a community impact. Now you just have to make a decision if you want to make an impact. If you want to make an impact. Figure out how to get involved, and everything will shape itself out. The day that you were born is the day that God decided that the universe could not exist without you. That's how purposeful you are, that's how valuable you are, and that's how much you matter to the people in this great city. Thank you guys so much.
Wow. Thank you, Roy. We would now like to show you how your gifts make a difference. We have representatives from 2 local nonprofit organizations who are a part of the combined charitable campaign to share a few words on how the CCC helps them fulfill their mission. First, from the Alzheimer's Association of Central Ohio, Hannah Adams.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about my organization. My name is Hannah Adams. I'm a program manager with the Alzheimer's Association Central Ohio chapter. So first, I just want to share a couple of numbers from our annual Facts and Figures report that we put out every year. There are 6 million Americans, over 6 million Americans living in the United States with Alzheimer's, and 1 in 3 seniors will die with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. The Alzheimer's Association's vision is a world without Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia, and we lead the way towards this vision by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. Here locally, we work with families, we work with persons living with dementia and the general community to provide these care and support services. We offer education programs on the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's, understanding behaviors, and effective communication strategies. We also offer support groups for caregivers and for individuals living with dementia. And then we also offer care consultations, which are one-on-one conversations. One thing that we know is while 2 people can have an Alzheimer's diagnosis, their journeys may not be the same. So these conversations are really one-on-one, specialized conversations where we can really tailor local resources to that person and their situation. We also offer early stage social engagement, which allows individuals living with dementia the opportunity to connect with each other and speak with someone who knows what they're going through. By contributing to the Alzheimer's Association, you are helping us to provide that care and support in our community. You're also helping to advance research towards methods of treatment, prevention, and ultimately a cure. You can also take part in our upcoming Walk to End Alzheimer's. You may be familiar with it. If not, it's our largest fundraising event. It's being held at the Columbus Commons on Sunday, September 24th, and we lovingly call it our largest support group. If you haven't been before, it's a beautiful event. It's a beautiful day, and it's a space where you can be where someone next to you knows what you're going through. They understand your situation and your pain. So I ask that you stand with us today for a cure tomorrow. And again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for doing an event like this and for having me here.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Next, from the Mid-Ohio Food Collective, please help me welcome Marshall Long.
Hi, everyone. County employees, how's everyone doing? You have a lot of choices that are coming up, and I hope you all take those choices very seriously. But what I would say is there's no bad choice to make when you walk out there. There are so many good organizations that could use funding, and I would just encourage you to think long and hard about who you want to donate to, but there are absolutely no bad choices. I would offer that the only bad choice would be to not make a choice. So let's talk about the Mid-Ohio Food Collective for a couple of minutes. We're a hunger relief charity. We have our headquarters in Grove City. However, we serve a 20-county footprint across central and eastern Ohio. The vast majority of the work that we are doing is in Franklin County, and we are in the business to end hunger one nourishing meal at a time. We have a lot of different programs that are all helping drive that mission. What I would offer today, too, is if anyone has any sort of preconceived thoughts or notions about hunger in your community, I would offer that they are probably not accurate. So the vast majority of the folks that we work with are employed. The vast majority of the folks that we work with basically just need a little bit of help to get back to be in a position where they don't need hunger assistance. We work with a lot of senior citizens. We work with a lot of families, again, who just need that that sort of initial kind of help. So again, we have a lot of opportunities to get involved. I would offer to you all to swing by our table after this. I'd be happy to give you a little bit more information about some of the programs that we do have. But if you don't remember anything from our little discussion today, just know that we are really in the business to end hunger, and it's going to take all of us to do that. It's going to take a concerted effort. And that could be through donating, that could be through advocating on our behalf, and that could also be through volunteering. So we have a lot of options, and again, we're just so grateful to be up here and to be able to kind of share that mission with all the county employees today. So thank you very much. Thanks again.
Thank you, Marshall. I would again like to thank all of our campaign chairs and charity representatives for helping us kick off this great campaign. Thank you all for coming, and please, like Marshall said, go out into the hallway. There are many different organizations. Visit, learn more about the organizations that are a part of this great campaign, and please, let's make a community impact. Let's make this campaign a great one. Thank you all for coming.